guys, and welcome back. Today I'm going to be testing out some new makeup from the drugstore. I went with the intention of buying the new e.l.f. Mint Melt collection, but it was not at my Walmart, so I purchased that online and that will be coming later. But today I just found some random new stuff at the drugstore to test out because I wanted to play with some new makeup. I didn't buy hardly anything in 2020, so I wanted to start 2021 with some new makeup. Most of this is Wet n Wild. There was a new display at Walmart of Wet n Wild makeup, so it was pretty picked over, but I got a few things. The first thing is the new Wet n Wild Bare Focus Tinted Hydrator. This is the lightest shade that they had at my Walmart, and it says that it's porcelain, but it looks kind of dark. But we're gonna try it out and see how this looks, feels. It says it is sheer to medium coverage. It has hyaluronic acid, everything does these days, and squalene. Squalene? You know, that thing. They also had a concealer in that line. This is the Incognito Mega Last All Day Full Coverage. So we've got a sheer to medium and then a full coverage concealer, but this actually looks very, very light. This is in Fair Beige. Go ahead and start with the Tinted Hydrator. Since this is a tinted moisturizer product, I'm going to use my hands first and see how that turns out. Okay, there we go. Let's see if this is super dark. It's not too bad. Let's just spread this. Yeah, it's a little dark. Oh, wow. Oh, it goes a long way. It's very slippery feeling. Once it is smoothed out, it definitely is very sheer coverage, but it says it can be built up to medium. So on the other side, I'm actually gonna use a sponge, and this is just a dry sponge because I'm lazy right now. But I'm gonna put this side on with a sponge and see if it has more coverage. Looks about the same. It was actually quicker to put it on with the sponge, but that's probably because the sponge ate up a lot of product. And I'm gonna use a brush. Whoa. It comes out of this really, really quickly. It's very thin and it spreads really easily. It's definitely a couple of shades too dark, but since it is so sheer, it's not looking terrible. Now, as far as it being hydrating, it doesn't feel too sticky. It is a little bit tacky, but it's not super bad once it's blended in. My skin feels nice and plump. It doesn't feel like overly hydrating, but it does feel it's a nice state of hydration, if that makes any sense whatsoever. So there's the tinted moisturizer, very sheer coverage and a little bit dark, but it works. Now we're gonna go in with the Wet n Wild Incognito Concealer. This is supposed to be an all-day full coverage concealer, so let's see what this looks like. It has a doe foot, kind of like the old Urban Decay Naked Skin did. It's flat on both sides, and it looks like it's very flexible. Yep, very flexible. I like this doe foot. All right, let's see. That may be too much since it's supposed to be full coverage, but I'm gonna use the sponge to sheer it out. Put this over my eyelid. Okay, once it's blended out with the sponge, it's definitely not full coverage. I'm gonna use the brush on this side. I don't like the way it looks with the brush. Smooth that out. It's a very natural finish. It's not dewy and it's not matte. It's a good in-between. It definitely doesn't look full coverage using a sponge with the amount of product that I used, but I don't like full coverage for concealer. I like a medium, and it looks decent. I'm gonna see if it'll build up just a little bit. I have some darkness on the inner corner right now. I'm going to blend that out with my fingertip. Using the finger definitely keeps some of that coverage. There we go, beautiful. Okay, I'm gonna do my brows real quick and set my face, and we'll go on to the next product that I have. All right, so the next product I have is from Physicians Formula, and it is a new product in their butter bronzer line. This is the Physicians Formula Matte Butter Bronzer. So the previous butter bronzer did have a little bit of a sheen to it. Is my butter bronzer. It smells so good, and it's not super noticeable to me. It seems matte when I wear it, but it does have a very slight sheen to it. So they came out with a matte version, and I love the color of the packaging on it. Let's see what it smells like. That doesn't smell the same at all. And I got this in the shade Matte Bronzer. Okay, I'm gonna use a big fluffy brush, and let's see if this is as smooth as the original matte, or the original bronzer. Whew. Little goes a long way. I think it did a decent job. I haven't used the butter bronzer in quite a while. I do want to compare the shades. See if I can swatch where you can see. So this is the new matte in bronzer. This is the butter bronzer in Sun-Kissed bronzer. And then I do also have the light bronzer from the original formula. That one feels the smoothest. That's so smooth. There are the shades that I have. There's that bronzer. Okay, next. I think we're gonna move to the eyes next. I bought 3 different palettes. 2 are Wet n Wild and are new. They are the new Color Icon palettes. They have the small 5-pan ones and then the larger ones. This is in Nude Awakening. So I don't know if they've reformulated their Color Icon or if they just repackaged, but they've had the Color Icon eyeshadow palettes forever. Here is the pink one. It seems like a lot of companies are coming out with this 5-pan or 4-pan, like the e.l.f. bite-sized ones went over really well. Just with the same simple look with the clear lid. I think the Natasha Denona mini palettes kind of started that look and craze, but they seem to be very popular, that specific style, for some reason. I'm gonna use a combination of these 2 palettes on my eyes. I also did get a Milani palette because I wanted it and I love the green and gold. This is Outlaw Olive. So if you want to see me use this in a video, let me know down below, but I did pick that up because I like green, and I haven't really tried Milani shadows that much. Here is the neutral one. If the formula is nice, these shades are very good everyday colors. So I'm gonna start with that. I'm gonna start with this brown shade in my crease and see. Very dusty, which I expect from Drugstore shadows, but I'm gonna zoom you in. So far that is blending in quickly and beautifully. They are quite dusty, but again, that's to be expected. A lot of Drugstore shadows are, and really a lot of shadows that blend smoothly are a little bit dusty. So I do not mind. Just tap your brush off and you won't have a whole lot of fallout. But that right there is quick and easy and beautiful. I could just use that shade and then put a shimmer all over my lid and I am out the door. I'm going to put this on my lower lash line too. Just gonna run that along my lower lash line, focusing on the outer half. Just nice and sloppy, not trying to be too precise. Okay, I wanna go into the pink palette here, and I'm gonna take the matte shade right here and go on my outer corner. There's a nice just wash of mauve. Bring that forward. The 2 lightest shimmers, and these look very similar. I'm gonna swatch them real quick and see which one I want. One is slightly lighter and a little bit more pink toned. There are the shades. I kind of want the more neutral one from the neutral palette, and see how, oh, that's beautiful. Oh, I like that. Okay, I'm gonna take the dark brown shade and try and put that on my outer corner and see how this one blends. I'm actually quite impressed with the way that blended out. The pigmentation doesn't stay as powerful as some of my more expensive shadows, but it is a beautiful, easy, everyday shadow that you can blend out quickly. I want to see how this pink actually looks. So I'm going to put this in the center of my lid and see what, oh, that's pretty. Kind of blend that. Hi, Lincoln. That's gorgeous. I don't normally like drugstore shadows. I'm very much a shadow snob. I just don't like the way they normally perform. I'm normally very disappointed in them, but so far I really like the way these are going on. The last shade I'm gonna use on my eyes is the darkest shade, and I'm gonna use this as an eyeliner. Let's see how this does as an eyeliner. All right, that works pretty well as an eyeliner. Nice, easy, quick, simple, everyday makeup. I like it. I'm gonna put on my, I'm gonna put on my blush and my mascara, and I'll be back to put on, I think I have one more. My battery's low and could die any second, so I'm gonna go ahead and put on the last product. And I am gonna swatch those shadows so you can see all the shades, but I wanna put this on real quick. This is the Wet n Wild Cloud Pout Marshmallow Lip Mousse. I'm assuming this is a matte, but I don't know that for sure. This is in the shade, why is it so tiny? Girl, you're whipped. Ooh, I love the applicator. It's like a little chair for your lip. Definitely light and moussey feeling. My lips are very dry and I've got like dry patches on the corners of my mouth, but it actually feels very hydrating. It's not matte, but it's not like an interesting texture. It's matte-ish, but it feels moisturizing. I actually really like the formula on this lip. It's so beautiful. It's moisturizing, but looks matte. It doesn't feel matte at all. I really, really like this. I think I need more colors. I'm gonna swatch the shadows for you and then we'll talk about what I think of all these products. Let's start with the 5 pan. So I'm gonna go from left to right. So those, we have the darkest shade. Well, that's actually really pretty. That, and that. So those are just one swipe swatches. And the light shimmer shade on the end. Ooh, that one's beautiful. I think all of these are very good for the price that this is. $2.98 for that. $2.98. That is amazing. $3. That's crazy. Let's go ahead and swatch the Tin Pan palette. Okay, we got these first 4 up here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Those are actually really smooth. Last one on the end. This is not going to show up much, but it is my exact skin tone. Let's do these bottom 4. Okay. 1. Do you see the pigment in that one swipe? Okay, these swatches are getting so crooked, but goodness gracious. I need to look up the price of this thing. And then the very last one on the end. That is insane, guys. I can't believe how pigmented that one is. If you need an everyday eyeshadow palette, get this. The Color Icon from Wet n Wild, $6. That's insane. I'm gonna put the names of these specific palettes on the screen. I'm gonna look them up online. But this is $6, guys, and the pigmentation is insane. That is beautiful. All right, so I want to wrap up all the things that I bought. First, the Tinted Hydrator from Wet n Wild. I actually really enjoyed this. It's very light coverage, but it's a good one if you want to just slap it on with your fingers and go out the door just to even out your skin tone. I think it looks beautiful. The Wet n Wild Incognito Concealer. I think it's good for a inexpensive drugstore concealer. This was $3.98. You can't really beat that for a concealer. I think it's decent. I need to test it out some more, but it looks perfectly smooth under my eyes. It's comparable to my Milk makeup in coverage, so this may be a good dupe for that. I'm gonna keep testing this out to see how much I like it or not. Shadow palettes. Obviously, I like these. The formula on these two is great, and for the price, you cannot beat that. That is amazing. I seem to like everything in this video. The Wet n Wild Cloud Pout, I really, really, really love this formula. I'm gonna go ahead and say this is my favorite lip formula from the drugstore. The Matte Butter Bronzer, it's good. It's very comparable to the original one. I didn't think there was anything wrong with the original. I didn't really need a matte version, but I will use it and I like it. But it's definitely not the standout product. All right, guys, I think that is everything. This was a very successful drugstore haul. I'm impressed with all this new makeup. I'm excited to get the e.l.f. stuff in the e.l.f. Mint line. There's a couple of their bite-sized palettes, but in mint shades, and I'm excited to test those out. But that's going to be it for this video. Let me know what your favorite product was down below. Let me know if you've tried any of these and also what you want to see next. That's going to be it for today's video. If you liked this, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already and you want to see future videos, hit that subscribe button down below. And I will see you guys next time. Stay gorgeous. Bye. I forgot how I exit a video. I'm going to keep testing. Lincoln. I can't get over that. Okay, I'm going to put the names of these specific... Today I'm going to be doing a video, clearly. So one thing I hate about drugstore packaging is trying to get them open. Whoops.